One line. That's all that's standing between SEI and what could be the most explosive rally of this cycle. We're talking about a trend line that's been holding SEI hostage for months, rejecting every single breakout attempt like a bouncer at an exclusive club. And according to popular analyst Ali, it's not a question of if this breaks, it's a question of when. Right now, SEI is trading at 21 cents, pressed up against this resistance like a coiled spring. One clean break, and we could see a move that catches everyone off guard. But here's the twist. BlackRock just landed on the Sei Network. Yes, that BlackRock. And they didn't come alone. So while everyone's staring at a chart, institutional money is quietly building the rails for something much bigger. Buckle up, because this week's developments might just be the catalyst we've been waiting for. What's up, crypto fam? Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, I break down the technical setups and fundamental catalysts that actually matter in crypto. No fluff, no hype, just data and analysis you can use. If that sounds good, smash that like button and subscribe so you don't miss the next move. Now, let's dive into why SEI is suddenly looking like one of the most interesting plays in the market right now. Let's set the stage. SEI has been stuck in a brutal downtrend for months. Every time the price tries to rally, it gets smacked down by the same descending trend line. It's like watching someone try to break through a glass ceiling over and over again. Frustrating? Absolutely. But here's what most traders miss. This kind of compression often leads to explosive moves. The longer price coils beneath resistance, the more energy builds up for the eventual breakout. According to Analyst Ali, who's been tracking this setup closely, SEI is now sitting at a critical inflection point. He posted a chart showing that one trend line has controlled SEI's entire market structure since its peak. His exact words, one trend line stands between SEI and a parabolic rally. It's not a matter of if, but when. That's a bold claim. But when you look at the technical setup combined with what's happening on the Sei Network itself, it starts making a lot more sense. But before we get too excited about potential moon missions, we need to talk about what's happening behind the scenes. Because, while traders are glued to price charts, Sei just had what might be its most significant week ever. And I'm not talking about some random partnership announcement or a new meme coin launching. I'm talking about institutional giants entering the space, gaming apps breaking into global rankings, and real-world assets going live on the network. BlackRock, the world's largest asset manager with over $10 trillion under management, just deployed their ICS US dollar liquidity fund on Sei Network via Kayo. They're not just testing the waters here, they're actually building infrastructure. Brevan, another institutional heavyweight, did the same thing with their master fund. So, this isn't retail speculation anymore. This is Wall Street level capital finding a home on Sei's rails. And then there's Circle Gateway, which now supports Sei Network. For those who might not know, Circle is the company behind USDC, one of the most trusted stablecoins in crypto. Their gateway enables frictionless liquidity and instant settlement across multiple chains. SEI is now part of that ecosystem, right alongside major players like Sonic and World Chain. So, what does that mean? The plumbing for serious institutional money is now in place. But wait, there's actually more. Yay Finance just completed an IDO on SailorFi that sold out in under 1 minute. When a project sells out that fast, it's not just luck, it's community strength. And speaking of community, Kindred AI broke into the global top 10 on DappRadar. If you're not familiar, DappRadar tracks the most used decentralized applications worldwide. Kindred is an AI-driven IP ecosystem where users don't just hold tokens, they actually emotionally bond with AI-powered assets. It's weird, it's futuristic, and apparently, people love it. So here's where things get interesting. You've got a technical setup that's been building pressure for months, and you've got fundamental developments that honestly read like a checklist for institutional adoption. Now, I'm not saying one causes the other directly, but in my experience, when technicals align with fundamentals, the market tends to move decisively. Let me break down the technical picture Ali highlighted. SEI is currently trading around 21 cents, sitting directly below that descending resistance trend line. This line has connected every major lower high since SEI's peak. It's textbook resistance, clean, well-defined, and respected by the market for months. Every rally attempt has stopped right at this level, which tells you sellers are waiting there, ready to take profits. But here's what changes everything. If SEI closes a daily candle above this trendline and manages to hold it as support on a retest, the entire market structure flips bullish. Suddenly, that resistance becomes support, and you've got a launch pad for higher prices. The first targets? We're looking at 26 to 28 cents, which represents the next obvious resistance zone. After that, 33 to 35 cents comes into play. That's where previous sellers took profits, so expect some friction there. But if SEI blows through those levels with momentum, things get spicy fast. A clean rally could bring 45 to 50 cents back into focus. And if the broader market cooperates and volume continues pouring in, we're talking about 60 to 70 cents as realistic targets. That's nearly a 3 times move from current levels. Not bad for a single trendline break, right? Now let's inject some reality here. No breakout is guaranteed. Technical analysis isn't magic, it's probability. If SEI gets rejected at this trendline again and slips below 20 cents, the downtrend stays alive. In that scenario, we'd likely see the price drift back toward 18 to 16 cents, which has been holding as support since summer. Multiple failed breakout attempts could also lead to trader fatigue, meaning SEI might spend weeks or even months consolidating before the next serious move. So what's my take on all this? I think Ali's onto something, but not just because of the chart. The technical setup is clean, sure, but what really catches my attention is the confluence of factors. You don't usually see institutional infrastructure land on a network right before a technical breakout. Coincidence? Maybe. But I've been in this market long enough to know that smart money doesn't move without a plan. Let's talk about BlackRock for a second. They're not dipping their toes into random layer ones for fun. They chose Sei for a reasoned speed, scalability, and institutional-grade architecture. Sei's high-performance blockchain can handle the throughput and settlement speeds that traditional finance demands. When BlackRock deploys tokenized funds, they need rails that won't buckle under real volume. Sei delivers that. And it's not just finance. Gaming is exploding on Sei too. Sacred Tales just launched early access on iOS, and Token Tales went live with a mission-driven game where proceeds fund real shelter cats in Lithuania. You might think that sounds gimmicky, but here's the thing. Onboarding happens through utility, not speculation. When people play games, adopt virtual pets, or interact with AI ecosystems, they're using blockchain without even thinking about it. That's mass adoption, quietly unfolding in the background. OKX recently spotlighted Sei as a leading blockchain for decentralized science, or DeSci. Sei's backing a $65 million DeSci fund through Sapien Capital, aimed at solving research funding bottlenecks, data integrity issues, and global collaboration challenges. If that sounds niche, remember, DeFi was niche too before it exploded. We're watching new verticals emerge in real time. Jeff Feng, co-founder of Sei Labs, recently discussed how the ecosystem is growing across the United States, Eastern Europe, East Asia, Southeast Asia, and Africa. That's global reach, not just regional hype. When you've got one of crypto's largest social apps and a fast-growing gaming sector with international traction, you're building something sustainable. Here's what most traders miss: fundamentals don't move price immediately. They create the foundation for sustained rallies. Right now, SEI has both technical compression and fundamental momentum. That's a rare combination. If the trendline breaks and fundamentals continue stacking up, we could see a move that doesn't just pump, it holds. Alright, let's wrap this up. SEI is sitting at a crossroads. One trendline stands between current price and a potential parabolic rally. The technical setup is textbook. The fundamentals are stacking up with institutional players, gaming, AI, and DeSci all converging on the network. Ali says it's not a matter of if, but when. I tend to agree, but I'm also keeping an eye on that 20-cent level. Lose that, and we're back to the drawing board. If you found this breakdown valuable, go ahead and hit that like button, drop a comment, and let me know. Are you bullish on SEI, or do you think this is just another hype cycle? And if you want more technical breakdowns and fundamental deep dives, check out the videos popping up on your screen right now. I've got analyses on other altcoins setting up similar patterns that you definitely don't want to miss. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. Stay sharp out there. Quick disclaimer before you go. This video is for educational and entertainment purposes only. It is not financial advice. Cryptocurrency markets are extremely volatile and risky. Never invest more than you can afford to lose. Always do your own research, consult with a licensed financial advisor, and make decisions based on your own risk tolerance. Trade responsibly.